I'm just looking. All right? I love this one. Today, in today's episode, we're going to talk about this, get our thinking right, and come up with the right game plan to help your buyer feel comfortable sticking around and giving you an opportunity to earn their business. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm David Lowe, the automotive sales coach, and I still hear I'm just looking, right? It's funny. I'll drive onto a lot. One maybe that I've never trained before. People don't know me. Maybe it's a new dealership. And I like to drive the lot because inevitably somebody comes out to say hello. I love that, by the way. You've got to get out and tell people I'm ready to help you. And you have to be better prepared than most salespeople are. So I normally roll down my window and I hear from the salesperson, "Can I help you?" Right? And what are you going to say to "Can I help you?" It's always, "I'm just looking." It's pretty comical what happens after that. And it's not their fault. It's amazing that we hire sales. Sales is a professional job. This is a professional career. Most salesmen make more than most other professionals out there. And if you're a master sales consultant, you're going to be in the top percentage of income earners. This is a professional career, and it's a craft, and it's an art, and it requires training. Unfortunately, people want cars, and they're going to buy cars regardless. If you work hard and you're nice, you'll sell cars. And that misleads many dealerships, many managers, and many salespeople to believe you either have it or you don't. What's left on the table are lost sales and lost gross and overvalued trade-ins. So if you want to increase your effectiveness, sell more cars and make more money, and most importantly, live with that healthy pride, right? Joy, peace, and satisfaction from doing a great job. Our automotive sales coaches dealership playbook and our training is something that will help give you the tools, the thinking tools and training you need to do that. Now, in this episode, I want to give you some of that, right? We're talking about I'm just looking. And this is, I want to take you back, hilarious. I was in Omaha, Nebraska, mid-90s. I was training Ford dealers all over the country. I don't know, I was 35 or 36, I don't know what age. And I had run a dealership from age 23 to 30. And when my buy-in didn't work out, I left and joined this training company. It was a great experience, get to see so many dealerships. By the way, a lot of the thinking from the playbook came as I studied the good and the bad and the ugly at these dealerships, right? Anyway, so I fly into Omaha and I'm dressed for training. I flew in and I had on my Cole Haan slip-on shoes, really nice leather shoes, dressed in my suit. I get off the plane and I catch my sole on that little grate off the airplane, right? And I tear the sole of my shoe off in the winter in Omaha. Now I didn't bring 3 sets of shoes. I had 1 set of dress shoes with me. So my shoe was flapping in the wind, right? The dealership picked me up at the airport. I did training and I'm talking with the sales manager. I'm like, "Hey man, can you take me over to Nordstrom's? I have to buy a pair of shoes. I can't be here for 3 days without shoes." He goes, "Sure, man, at lunch, let's go over." Nordstrom was down the street. We ran there. I go to the Cole Haan rack. I'm picking up some shoes. I need shoes. I'm going to buy shoes. I have to have shoes. And the salesman walks up to me and says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "I'm just looking." I swear to God, it just came out of my mouth. And the salesman said, "Let me know if you need anything," and turned around and left. The sales manager who was with me started cracking up. He's like, "Didn't you just coach and train our salesman on this today?" Isn't it human nature to say that? And so what we want to do, of course, our welcome needs to change. This episode's not about doing a great welcome. Some of you might call it a meet and greet. Time to update it to a welcome. A welcome, all about making our buyer feel comfortable, and we're prepared to do that. We have an action plan. We teach that right on the Excellence Roadmap. So when we walk out and we say hello to somebody and they say, "I'm just looking," we really need to understand what's going on here, right? What is happening here? Are they just looking, right? How many times, if you don't need a washer and dryer, how many times do you go to Best Buy and hang out in the washer and dryer section, right? People don't do it. Going to a car lot's not that. What they're really saying is what? I don't want to be pushed or talked into doing something I don't want to do. You're not going to talk me into buying the wrong car for the wrong price. I don't want to be pressured. It's kind of like that forearm, right? And so they're giving you, give me some space. Are they just looking? The answer is no. Most people, over 9 out of 10 of people that shop for a car, buy a car. It's not a question of if they're going to buy. It's what they buy, where they buy, when they buy it, and how much they spend for it, right? By the way, whose job is it to help them answer those 4 questions? It's yours. Now, what do I know? If they're saying just looking, they're here. Why are they here? That always goes through my brain. Remember, start with what you know. Step back. I'm always thinking, why would somebody say I'm just looking? They physically drove here, right? There's a reason they're here. So when they say they're just looking, I don't want to say, oh, I'm just a selling, because in this case, guess what might happen? That might offend them. It's pressure, isn't it? I know that some guys are like, well, that's how I found my first wife, right? They want to make a joke, and that's cool. I love joking with customers, but that may offend many people in terms of those people that are really nervous about what's going on. I'm not sure that they know my personality yet, and that will come across right. Does that make sense? So there's other ways to handle this. I know that's true. I'm going to give you one that I know works, right? And that is to not attack it, but to back off and make it comfortable for them to tell you why they're here. That's your goal. Get them comfortable to tell you why they're here. They're here for a reason. If we can get them comfortable enough, they will tell us their story, everything we need to know to help them find the right car and to make a profitable sale today, okay? So when somebody says, I'm just looking, the common response is, what are you looking for? You know, that's kind of pouncing on that person who just said that, right? So when somebody says it to us, why don't we do something better and different than everybody else? So, oh, rock and roll. Thank you so much for coming here to look. We really appreciate it. Okay, I want you to think about the psychology of what's happening. What is this fearful buyer expecting? A shark of a salesman. What did they get? A human. Somebody that appreciates them. Somebody who has good manners. Somebody that's not going to pressure them. What I say? Oh, rock and roll. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming here to look. I really appreciate it. We know that when we use the words thank you and appreciate together, buyers' hearts open up. Buyers' hearts soften. Isn't that what we want here? We want to let them know somehow, I've got you. And these steps will do that, right? And then I might explain to them, hey, just FYI, we're part of 4 dealership group. We've got cars everywhere, just about every make and model available to us through our network. What am I saying there in that second part? I'm saying you may not see what you want, but I may have it. That's kind of building value for the next question. And the next question is saying, what are you looking for in a better, softer, kinder way? It might be, so what are you guys considering? What are you guys kicking around? What are you guys thinking about? And did you see, I'm not going, I know you're buying. What are you going to buy? I can find it. Maybe I got it. I might have something you'll buy. No, I'm like, rock and roll. Thank you for coming here. Really appreciate it. Now, first I want to apologize. We've got cars scattered everywhere. On our website, we've got 5 dealerships all in this group. And so I've got a lot of cars spread in a lot of places. Anyway, so can I ask you, what are you guys kind of kicking around or considering? That soft question will make them feel, well, we're thinking about this. You know what we say? Rock and roll. I can totally help you with that. Come with me. By the way, my name is David, and we're back in the welcome step. Doesn't this seem simple? You know why? It is. It's funny to me that we would hire salespeople and say, get out there and talk to these people. Go talk to these people. In fact, that's what most dealerships do. They don't train. They send people who have no idea what they're doing out to talk to the buyers. It costs dealerships a fortune, and it costs new salespeople a fortune, and ultimately it costs too many of them their job because they never develop the skill set. They trip on a couple buyers. We have the right car at the right price. We're all going to sell cars because of that, and they think they're a salesman when things get tough. They failed to develop the skill sets they need. Don't do that. If you're naturally gifted, don't fall short of your full potential. Remember, naturally gifted people, you need the skills as well to maximize your potential. So here's what I'm trying to say. If you want to increase your effectiveness, you want to be a better salesman, you want to sell more cars for more money, right? You want to make more money. Maybe even you want a chance to move up to a manager someday. You have to take personal responsibility for your thinking, your attitude, your knowledge, your skills, and your actions, don't you, right? And to do that, you need training. The automotive sales coach, we're coming alongside dealerships. By the way, when I was with that company, Half a Car, in the 90s, almost every dealership I went through across the country didn't have a training plan. And as I went back there 3 months later, they'd be like, well, we need good people. We can't find good people. By the way, that was 3 decades ago. Dealers are still saying it. I'm like, well, you hired, last time I was here, you had some good people. What happened to them? They didn't make it. I said, what is your training like? Oh, we don't have training. You either have it or you don't. I'm always like, could you imagine if your plumber was hired and trained? What the world would be like. Listen, this is a professional career. It requires training. It requires skills, right? It requires a constant improvement. This is a craft and this is an art. Yeah, you can be a bully, you can be a brute, and yeah, people want cars and they're gonna buy cars. Our training and this podcast, this episode's never been about selling cars. People are gonna buy cars even if you suck. This is talking about becoming a master sales professional, right? Living with a healthy pride that can only come from living and working with excellence, the pursuit of your best self. And quite frankly, the way I treat people is going to determine how I feel about myself. If I treat them with respect and courtesy like we're teaching you, I will feel better at myself. If I use these outdated pressure techniques taught by so many big trainers, by the way. People just jump onto this crap really, really quickly. And I'm just telling you, if you want to be more, be more. Build your foundation on character and integrity. Learn how to overcome your buyer's fears in a positive, powerful way that creates a partnership with you and your customer, that builds that relationship and trust you need to help them find the right car and feel comfortable saying, I'll take it today. All right. I'm David Lowe, the automotive sales coach. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't watched our other episodes, please go back and watch them. A lot of good stuff in there. We really appreciate your time. We know how valuable it is. So thank you for watching or listening, and good selling.